The drought is likely yet another sign of climate change, and it comes as it last month ranked the fourth hottest July on record. Joining the panel now is Dr. Jeffrey Sachs, the director of the Earth Institute at Columbia University. It is great to have you on set, Dr. Sachs.
Thank you so much.
Certainly not good news as we talk about economic stability and sort of the global, our global ecology. Let's focus on the drought, though. The impact of this seems to be quite serious in terms of everything, as I said, from grain to meat. A number of products in the U.S. are tied to corn and soy, for that matter. I guess my question is, we talk about climate change and energy policy, sometimes in a vacuum, but now that there is a very tangible effect that it's having, or will have and will continue to have on economics, on our economic system and on agribusiness, do you think there will be more of an impetus for our leaders to do something about this?
Well, definitely the public is seeing what this climate change means. It's not a theory. It's not something about the distant future. It's hitting the planet now. And not only in the United States. I spent a lot of the recent months in Africa. Massive droughts in the Horn of Africa and in West Africa. We know that Beijing has had the worst floods in modern history because there it's massive rainfall. So weather is being disturbed everywhere. I think all over the world people know something's not right. The world is changing. Indeed it is. That's what the science shows. But we have been so much in the grip of the oil lobby, which is the world's most powerful lobby, that it has turned off the debate on this for years. And now people are saying, what is going on? It's reckless what we've been doing, just driving the world economy to disaster, pretending it's not there, because the Koch brothers or somebody who have the largest private oil industry buy politicians, and then they turn their eyes. But everybody else in the world now sees it.
Well, you know, and Eric, in Rolling Stone, you guys have printed a series of pieces by Bill McKibben, who's a great authority on these matters. And this week you focus on the melting of the Greenland ice sheet abruptly and sort of in terrifying fashion to those that watch it. But McKibben also talks about in the pages of Rolling Stone, you know, how the world has sat idly by. And for example, in 2009 in Copenhagen, nobody did anything when it was sort of a pivotal moment. And as Dr. Sachs mentions, you know, here you have Mitt Romney, who was also in Iowa the other day talking about energy and was doubling down on coal and oil and gas.
That's right. You've got extraction, you've got drilling, you've got the same old kind of, you know, plan at a time when the planet is literally before our eyes being transformed by our actions. And one of the points that Bill makes is the movement to mobilize against global warming has never really had a clear enemy, because the movement has never been willing to say who's to blame here, and the oil lobby is really who's to blame here, that those fossil fuel industries are what's killing us. Bill points out in one of his articles that those industries hold so much carbon in reserve now. They've already got their hands on so much carbon that they want to burn, that if we were to place any real restrictions on that, their value would plummet. So they're in a real bind where they're just promoting their bottom line at the expense of the planet.
But Dr. Sachs, I mean, agribusiness is certainly not a shrinking violet when it comes to making their cause known and securing, you know, sort of political capital to further their interests. You look at this drought, I mean, the repercussions on the agricultural sector are fairly dire. So why, I mean, why is there not more attention paid to the thing that is affecting the agricultural sector and how we might sort of mediate the effects of it?
It's a great question, and this is a shock being felt by middle America, and
yeah,
it's not
exactly.
theory. This is right to the core. The Midwest of the United States hasn't seen anything like this. I'm sure it's going to change politics. I think you're completely right. And what we see already in the opinion surveys is that Americans, but it's true all over the world, who say something's wrong, humans are changing the earth in dangerous ways, those numbers are soaring. People don't need to be convinced. Actually, they see it, they feel it with their own eyes. The storms we've had on the East Coast here, electricity knocked out, the dangers, people killed. You see it all over the world happening right now. But we have corporate propaganda leading the way. It is the Koch brothers. I mean, who else can you point to? They buy up election after election, politician after politician. It's, of course, not just them. It's Rupert Murdoch. It's the Wall Street Journal. These are powerful interests that have been trying to maintain the status quo And they've been playing on doubts and uncertainties, but I think those uncertainties are really fading, and some of the climate skeptics are saying, oh, you know, we looked at the data, this is really serious, which it is.
Well, and I think it's important and very relevant that this is affecting the heartland, as you said. This is the middle of the country. This is not sort of the bastion of the liberal elites, which is to say coastal cities. These are farmers who are having to slaughter their cattle because they can't afford the feed. I mean, that anecdote alone, if that doesn't ring alarm bells, that the president is now talking about meat in freezers and holding on to surpluses because we can't afford to feed the cows. I mean, that's what you think of when you think of end times in America.
Yeah, the poor all over the world have been experiencing this for years already. There have been food riots in a number of cities over the past several summers because of rising food prices, because of drought and crop damage. I don't know that we're going to have food riots here, but come next summer, we're going to have higher food prices. People have gotten accustomed to higher prices at the gasoline pump. They kind of understand why that may be happening. I think it's going to be a lot harder to explain to middle Americans why their grocery bill is going up just so dramatically.
I think neither politician, neither of the candidates nor neither party really walks away scot-free in this.
That is absolutely certain.
And what's also true is we are putting a huge part of our corn production into the gas tank where it does not belong, taking it out of the food supply. So that whole ethanol scam, which has been a scam for powerful corporate interests, is something that has to go, and it should go right now before this builds into huge food price increases.
Dr. Jeffrey Sachs, this is not the last time we will entice you on to talk about food insecurity, climate change.